Attention crew, this is your Captain Caliban speaking. This is a supplemental episode of Enterprising Individuals, where we bring you news and tidbits from the world of Trek, also interviews with special guests, and a few little surprises along the way. You know, it seems like Christmas starts earlier and earlier every year. You've just finished washing turkey blood off the driveway, and you begin to hear the faint, echoing strains of Mariah Carey. And this Christmas, she wants you. Enterprising Individuals isn't exactly a workplace, as it resides mostly in your ears when you're listening to it, but there are a few people that I call on frequently to help out around here, not to mention that I share hosting duties with those people on other Just Enough Trope network shows, so that kind of makes me a boss, and like anyone in the managerial class, when the holidays roll around, I'm looking to make my employees happy with a little holiday office party. This will be a bit of a stripped-down affair, no karaoke machine, no getting hammered on craft brew and photocopying your butt or puking in a trash can. I used to work with a lot of alcoholics. No, instead, I sat down virtually with three of my favorite collaborators, Mikanhana of the Just Enough Trope and Sailor Noob podcasts, Ella Pearson of Generations Geek and our own Discoverage, and Gooey Fame of the Virtual Theater podcast and BackTrekking on this network. And we took the time to share some holiday cheer, to talk about what we're thankful for in Trek this year, and we even got a few rounds of Star Trek Trivial Pursuit in. It was a fun conversation, and you're going to hear the audio for it right now. There's a video version as well, and that is available on our Patreon at patreon.com/EISTPOD. And that, for now, is just about it from Enterprising Individuals for this year. For the last 3 years, we've done 44 episodes a year. That's 22 episodes focused on Star Trek episodes and 22 supplemental episodes. And that's not counting all the Discoverage shows that we do when we cover, releases of new Star Trek episodes. And we usually run from late January or early February all the way to early December. And it's worked really well. It's been a good system. 22 was a nice round number, and it usually wasn't too backbreaking to get everything out on time. These past 2 years, however, as you can imagine, have been a very different story. You know, when I look back on everything that happened in the year 2020, in between me getting and recovering from COVID, riots in my hometown, the presidential election, the general insanity, I have no idea how we kept a regular schedule throughout the entire year. But now I think I do know. I think I had to put a lot of extra energy and effort in, and according to the law of conservation of energy, that energy had to come from somewhere. And I think it came out of this year, 2021, owing to ongoing global issues and, a personal issue or two on my part. This has been a pretty tough year to keep producing the show. And you think, oh, everybody's stuck inside, right? So there's plenty of people. They're right by their computers. You can just call them and talk about Star Trek. But of course, it doesn't exactly work like that. A lot of people are unavailable. They're dealing with their own pandemic troubles, or hopefully they're out and catching up with their friends or with work if their community is open up. So just for the sake of continuing to make the show the best it can be, we are going to shutter Enterprising Individuals for the rest of the year. I do plan on doing a holiday clip show, as is our tradition in our house. That will be coming out later this year, but there will be no new episodes of Enterprising Individuals in 2021. This doesn't apply to our live show Discoverage, which we do every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central on the internet. I'm talking about the newest episodes of Star Trek on Paramount+. Ella and I will still be there covering Prodigy, covering the new season of Discovery, and anything else that comes down the Trek pike. But for now, I'll be taking a hopefully well-deserved, but definitely postponed break. In the meantime, you can always get a hold of us on social media at EISTPOD on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We also have a Discord where we talk about Star Trek and other nerdy pastimes. There's a link in the show notes. It's free to join, and all are welcome. I hope that you, wherever you are able to be with your family this holiday season, and that you enjoy celebrating the holidays, whatever holidays you celebrate. There's nothing I enjoy more than talking about Star Trek, and I will be back doing that in 2022 for a new season of Enterprising Individuals. In the meantime, if you still want to hear me talk about Star Trek, you can on BackTrekking, the podcast I host with Gooey Fame. It comes out every other Thursday. It's available wherever you get your podcasts, and it's a pretty good listen. We talk about the real-world inspirations behind your favorite episodes of Trek, and just in time for the holiday season, our latest episode explores the links between the DS9 episode The Ascent and the classic John Hughes Thanksgiving film, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a funny movie, we had a fun talk about it, and I encourage you to check it out. That's it for me. I hope you enjoy our holiday party. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and yours. And with that, let's get underway. Welcome, everyone, to the first annual Enterprising Individuals Holiday Party. I'm joined on this stream by some of the former guests and co-hosts of Just Enough Trope shows. We've got Ella Pearson, host of the Generations Geek podcast, and my co-host on Discoverage. Season's greetings, Ella.
Thank you. I feel like I always get the best introductions. Like, I get this like confidence boost at the beginning of the show. Every time I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Sure. I've always wanted to be mononymous, have like one name, but like neither of my names are that great. So it has to be something else, like Rocky or something like that. But,
not quite famous enough yet to just
but Ella's pretty good. We could just go with that. We've also got the host of the Virtual Theater podcast and my co-host on BackTrekking. It's Gooey Fame. Feliz Navidad, Gooey.
Hey, Rocky. Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah. All right. I'm starting to warm to it a little bit.
We can make it stick.
And finally, she's the host of the Sailor Noob podcast. I'm my co-host on Just Enough Trope. It's Mikanhana. Froa Weihnachten, Mika.
Whoa, I have no idea what you just said, but yes.
Thank God there's only 3 of you because I am out of ways to say Merry Christmas at this point. 2020 was a crazy year, and honestly, 2021 hasn't been a whole lot better. So I thought it'd be fun if we just took a chance to step back from all the bad things that are going on and take a chance to, do what you're supposed to do on the holidays. And that's look back on the year, be thankful for what you've got, and have fun with your friends and family. So let's have fun. I've got some homemade caramel corn here. I've got an adult beverage, and we'll talk Trek, and we'll have a good time. Is anybody else drinking?
Good.
What are people drinking?
Cheers.
Water.
Water for adults.
I've got Minneapolis Cider Co. Brute, which you can't see because
it won't come up on your thing.
No.
I love them. They're so good.
Yeah, no, we can't see it.
I'm having some Suntory whiskey, Suntory Toki whiskey, and Toki means time in Japanese, so for a relaxing time. Make it Suntory time.
Fantastic. I love
Sponsorship.
Yeah. If they want to, I'm open to it. I wanted to harsh our mellow a little bit, we start here, because it was announced today that Dean Stockwell died at the age of 85. A guy who was only in 1 episode of Star Trek, but he's like nerd royalty, and he's been acting for 70 years, and he just feels like part of the Trek family to me. And that's been going around Trek Twitter. And of course, Scott Bakula, said something nice about it, and it just seems like nice guy. Started all the way back when he was a little baby child, acting, and has been in a ton of cool movies, and so gonna miss him.
Yeah, it's super sad. I audibly gasped when I saw that. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, gosh dang it. Now we're too late to do the Quantum Leap reboot. They could have done it all this time. And
yeah.
One of my first thoughts though was thank goodness we have that Star Trek episode where they got to come back together.
Yeah. It's and I just remember him being on Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
And being a real cool part of that, and just Married to the Mob obviously is a great movie. Seeing a lot of Blue Velvet Twitter avies going around when he was the creepy guy in that. So yeah, I mean he was 85, like we always say on Just Enough Trope. Yeah, had a good run, but it's still sad. Scott Bakula keeps talking like there's gonna be a Quantum Leap reboot, and
I know.
It's gonna be weird now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they won't be able to do it, with him. But for the younger participants here, maybe they're not so familiar with Quantum Leap. But it was a big deal. It was a big show back then. Gooey's seen at least 1 episode. I know that.
I've seen the 1 episode. I'm still very much on board to get into Quantum Leap. It's one of those things. It's on the queue.
Yeah.
Now it's just gonna be too sad.
Well, yeah, but hopefully we'll look back.
No.
Fondly.
He was incredible at least in that 1 episode.
Yeah. I guess the new Dune was so good, it killed the actor that was in it, the earlier one.
Yeah,
Right?
I was gonna say he was in Lynch's
Oh,
Dune.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
else in the old Dune, be careful. Watch out.
Well, protect Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yes.
no. Looking out for that one next. Ella, we were talking on the last Discovered show about that auction that I was telling you about, where they were auctioning off all the old memorabilia and stuff like that. Some of which included Star Trek stuff like old uniforms and like a Star Trek phaser rifle. And it's closed now. I had said before that the Star Trek phaser rifle, the bid started at $250,000, and it actually ended up selling at $615,000 to a private collector.
A private collector?
Yeah. I don't have a
What
name.
does that mean? That's just like
It
rich
means
person
don't come
who
to my
likes
house
buy
and
things.
don't come to my
Yeah.
house and steal my phaser rifle is what it means. Yeah.
It means I have $600,000 to throw away.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And that is a record. That's the highest that anything's ever sold for. I think the last one was like a hand phaser from the original series sold for like $230,000.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh
That's
boy.
an insane amount of money.
If I had the kind of money to give away, on something like that, I probably would.
I spent $20 on one thing and I'm like, whoo, wow,
Yeah, right.
big day.
Yeah. Ramen noodles for a
Feels
month now.
good.
Yeah.
Just gotta heist that phaser, and we'll be set.
Yeah. Yeah, like a
Really
National
good.
Treasure TOS edition. Yeah. I'm going to steal this guy's signed uniform, signed by William Shatner. And some, they did sell some uniforms. William Shatner signed one, sold for $50,000, which is a lot. There was a Spock one, or at least a blue shirt from the auction that sold for $45,000. And then there was a walking Tribble prop, one of the original Tribble props, and I guess it was one that was rigged to move in some way. That sold for $10,000 or $10,600, $10,600. So here's this piece
Wow.
of like 60-year-old like fake fur. It's just like awesome.
If you're ever on a show, you just gotta start grabbing stuff.
Yeah, well that's what
And
people,
I would.
yeah, that's what people do now. Like everybody that they interview, like on Discovery or whatever, they're, oh yeah, I walked off with this, I walked off with that. I wonder if anybody ever got in trouble for that. It seems like, are you supposed to do that? I've been in a lot of plays. If I walked away with a prop, like somebody would probably be mad at me. I did steal a prop once.
Did you? What'd you steal?
I was in a play at a theater here in town called Theater in the Round, and we were doing a play where we were playing sailors. It was a play called 10 November about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And all 9 people that were in the show, there's 9 guys in the show, all had to sort of like individuate ourselves because we were supposed to play like general kind of faceless sailors, but we all needed a little bit to be, our own person. And so I picked out this like wool watch cap that I really liked. And I just liked it so much that I just like, I just took it. And then I ended up wearing it for a long time.
Now
think I
you're
know
recording
what you're-
yourself admitting to it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
just confessed to it. Yeah, on air. But if they want to pay me, then they can have it back. But that theater doesn't
Fair.
pay people. I also wanted to talk about the news that came out just, I think today, or at least recently, that Star Trek Prodigy will have 20 episodes in its first season. Ella and I were speculating on how many episodes there would be, and it turns out 20, which is a lot.
That's
So I guess
sweet.
they're a little shorter though.
Yeah, it's shorter
Okay.
than, yeah, but
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and it's like, most animated shows have many, many, many episodes, 40, 50 episodes. Like when you hear about a cartoon like The Snorks or something like that ran for like one season, there's like 50 episodes because the plan is to just put it in syndication and then run it every day, right? So I'm sure that like however many episodes there end up being eventually of Star Trek Prodigy, they'll just put it on Nickelodeon and it'll just run at 4:30 p.m. or whatever, for the rest of time. So
Right, when you get home from school.
yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So
TV on instantly.
that's exciting. It's a little daunting. And it's actually going to like go on hiatus when Discovery comes out. So the 18th, is when Discovery comes out. There will be an episode then. Then it'll stop until the first of the year or like the first week of January. So I think they're already running.
Bizarre.
Yeah, well, I think they're already running into this thing where it's like are we going to compete with ourselves now? Like, you know, Discovery is going to come out at the same time that Prodigy is going to come out, and they don't exactly overlap in terms of audience, but they are both Star Trek. And do we want people to be trying to figure out, you know, which one they want to watch and when? So that's something that we'll have to deal with on Discovery, of course.
Just keep the Star Trek, you know, trickling out.
Yeah, the train never stops. It just keeps going and going. But I'm looking forward to it, though.
Do you think there'll be more like double episodes, like the
Yeah,
pilot?
that's a good question. I don't know.
Because they count that as 2.
Yeah.
Even though it,
yeah.
you know.
And it you know, it aired as 1, obviously, but it was broken down immediately into 2. So when it does run on Nickelodeon or wherever, I'm sure it'll just be the 1 and the 2. So I doubt that there will be too many more double length episodes like that. I liked it. I liked that we got to like sit in it a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys all see Prodigy?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, I thought it was really great.
It seems like people are liking it a lot, and I don't know if this is like a read, but people seem to be liking it. Like, I'm very surprised.
Surprised that they like it so much?
Well, surprised at just like how overwhelmingly positive everything I've seen has been. You know, I feel like sometimes, you know, an episode of like even like Lower Decks will come out, and I'll be scrolling through Twitter looking for like one positive tweet to reply to, and
really?
I'm just scrolling. Yeah, and it's like 30 minutes. So I'm pleased, but just a little bit like, whoa, you know.
I'm suspicious. You like this too much.
Maybe the stakes are lower. There's like less. Like, were you gonna be mad at a kids show? Like, well, I guess there probably are a million people out there who are mad at a kids show, but you know what I mean. Like, you don't want to be that person who's just mad about something for kids.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. I think there's a lot of people who can get mad about kids shows, but maybe that's a new muscle for crabby Star Trek fans. They're not used to.
They have to work up the energy to find something to be mad about. They're like, the thing's too cute. I get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like Power Ranger fans can flip out over like, oh, his helmet's the wrong shape. Screw this entire thing. But maybe Trek fans are like, wait a minute. So it's like a kids show for kids, but should I get this angry about it? I know that some people have complained about the hero. And a friend of mine who has another Star Trek podcast called Antimatter Pod, just give him a little plug, says that they think that a lot of it is like racially based because he is voiced by an actor of color. And so like the kind of standards that we put on like people of color or actors of color are maybe getting involved in that. So the cesspool, it still exists. There is material in the cesspool, I think, for toxic fandom, but maybe it's just so good there's just nothing to complain about. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it right now. Although, as Mikanhana can tell you, like whenever I get super excited about a show initially, it always like goes down in quality over time. I was real pumped about Foundation, and then it's like, season or episode 6, 7. What are you doing, Foundation?
It's a trend that we don't want to see continue, but it seems
I got to break my streak. maybe Prodigy will be the one that helps me break the streak. Well, I'm thankful for Prodigy, and one of the things I wanted to do, because this is a holiday party, is talk about some of the things that we're thankful for this year, you know, with Thanksgiving and all coming up. Does anybody want to just throw out something that they're thankful for? Trek-related, hopefully, but could be just something in their lives.
Well, I'll start.
Yeah, take it.
I was just gonna say Prodigy.
Oh, okay. For the show Prodigy. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, getting to see Janeway as a hologram and have her ginormous cup of holographic coffee because somebody thought that needs to happen, and I was like, yes. You know, just how creative it is and fun and all the different characters. Just excited to see how that's going to kind of come together, and I'm just enjoying it. So
I like that it's like it's so futuristic. It's just a travel mug that you can get from Target, but like because she's a hologram, she could be sipping out of she could have a saucer instantly and just drink that. Or
That's true.
if she really likes coffee, she should get one of those giant like keg mugs like the guy on Veep has, like the 64 ounce, just
Right.
So you can like refill for a discount at the gas
right,
station.
yeah, when you pull into the space station. Yeah, the space gas station.
It's like plastic and like, I don't know, it'll say something snippy. I'm not good at coming up with stuff. on
There's
the spot,
coffee in that nebula.
Yeah, perfect.
Or like get out. You're dismissed. That's a Starfleet expression for get out.
Yeah.
Ella, what about you?
I was thinking about it, and I think I'm just grateful that there are so many Star Trek shows airing, because I used to like binge Next Gen, like when I got my first my iPod Touch when I was in like 8th grade or whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to watch it and be like, man, I wish that there was new Star Trek coming out. That would be so cool. And cut 10 years later or whatever, and here we are.
You're spoiled
so
for
it's pretty
choice.
nice. It's special. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird place to be, and it's we haven't been here since the late 90s, early 2000s, when you could just watch Star Trek first run, 2 shows first run, and then you could watch TOS and TNG and syndication, and it was real a real busy fun time. But now we've got the inner tubes, so you can watch it whenever you want. Gooey, are you?
Yeah,
is there
Enterprise.
Oh, go ahead, Ella.
I was going to say Enterprise was a little bit above my pay grade in the early 2000s. They went in a different direction with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really know. I'm not really very fond of Enterprise either, so I'm willing to hear all criticisms about it. Gooey, what about you?
I guess at risk of sounding corny, I would say maybe the show that we've done together, and then also your various Star Trek shows that I've gotten to come and guest on, but just in general, like, being able to kind of re-examine, and pop back into different, eras and episodes or movies of Trek. And then specifically with our show, also setting aside the time to like watch a classic movie or watch a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or something like that. Just like set some time aside to like look at a classic, Yeah. But yeah, just kind of looking back on.
I'll make the check out to the usual place for that. So, no, that's like one thing that I really like about what we do on BackTrekking is the fact that we do get to watch all this classic media and also read and, enjoy it in different ways. But it's incredible. I don't know if you could do this with another show, Friends or Magnum PI or, just some other genre show. There's something about Trek that I think it's the mythic space that it inhabits, where you can just find either something that was directly inspired because the writers just needed to tell a certain kind of story, or it's something that has themes that resonate with something else that's really popular, and I think that, we're never going to run out of things to talk about. It doesn't seem like it. Like, we've been doing this for a long time now. I think that's really great. So listen to BackTrekking if you don't.
Yeah.
That's my...
It's been good to like discover different like threads of things we've gone down, even coming on Enterprising Individuals. And we did a few, it was almost like conversations that I couldn't remember which we, had on which show, but like, like thinking about Enterprise or, we did the one episode where we looked at the original Star Trek Is document and like stuff I wouldn't normally seek out, but you kind of bring all this stuff to me and you're like, take a look at this. And it's like,
check this out.
Yeah. Some crazy information that I would never have discovered on my own.
I never would have discovered that Tom Cruise is weirdly like the patron saint of our show. That wasn't planned. The fact that we've done
exactly
4 or 5 Tom Cruise joints and like he's in all these things that are like, wow, that's kind of, why hasn't he done a Star Trek yet? Like, I know that part of the problem with getting a movie is that, they can't afford Thor or whatever, so they'll never afford Tom Cruise. But if you let him like co-produce, or something like that, maybe
they could get Van Damme though.
Oh yeah, they could totally get Van Damme.
I think they could.
He would be a sick alien.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
As long as he's okay with a little bit of like alien makeup. Like, I know that he was, his first foray into American filmmaking was Predator, and he didn't like being an alien in that. But
make him Bajoran.
Just put a little thing on his head. Yeah, get him out there. He's from the French part of Bajor. You're only Bajor if you're from the French part. Otherwise,
they would totally
just, like wrinkly nose. Alien.
They'd have a thing like in his movies where he has like a Bajoran brother, but his brother would be like, "You grew up on Earth with Mom."
No, yeah, he's got right, yeah. Or he has to be like he is in a lot of his movies, a double of himself. So he has to be a transporter clone or something like that. So there's two Van Dammes. Yeah.
Oh man.
That would be amazing.
Going from France to England, Ella, you studied abroad and lived in England for a while. If you had the money and time, would you just go back there and just stay there for an indefinite period?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to go, back to school there. I'd love to get my master's over there. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, frankly, I liked it a lot more than I thought. Like, I thought at the end of the 9 months, I'd be kind of like a Midwest girl in a big city, ready to go home. And I was like,
Emily comes back from Paris.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I had a great time. I really, I would recommend it. It seemed like a great place to live.
I wonder if I've always thought like there must be like a threshold for people who are studying abroad or living abroad or expats where you go, oh, it's been great for X amount of years. And then it's like, I want a Big Mac. I would like to just go and like watch Friends, at home. I want to be able to just, talk to somebody and they speak my language. Like if you hit a point where you're like, okay, I'm done here, but it doesn't sound like it. I mean, you seem to love it. I have a friend who's been a guest on the show who retired to France and is just loving it up. And he's posting pictures all the time and they're always doing like wine tastings and they just went to Paris for his birthday. And it's like, yeah, it seems like it's a lot of fun. Although I do like Big Macs though as well. So.
Well, every McDonald's over there has the ordering screen, so you don't have to talk to anybody.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
They're getting those here too.
That's
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah, the McDonald's near me, I don't go there very often, but it does have that. I don't know if it's like a COVID thing or it's just like a convenience thing or
I don't know.
We don't want workers to complain about their wages thing.
Maybe I've only seen what is it? This sus one on like by Lake Street.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. That's the one that I live next to.
Yeah.
The sus one. Mika, as somebody who does an anime show, or sorry, 2 anime podcasts, one of which you talk about first episodes of animes. Yes. What in your opinion makes a good first episode of an anime? Because I should clarify to give context to your answer. Anime they aren't like American TV shows where you make a pilot to sell it and then you keep stuff from the pilot, but you have to kind of develop it as you go. Anime series are commissioned, so they know where they're going, from episode 1. So what makes a good first episode?
Well, I think like an episode that has like a good hook or a good they leave phrases just going right out of my head. Just like leaves you on the edge of your seat and you're like, oh, I have to know what happens next.
Oh, sure.
A cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's wow. Words. And I think a good cliffhanger and then also like some sort of like an interesting like situation or characters or something about it that's kind of unique.
Yeah.
Because I think something that we've kind of discovered, and sometimes you're more critical about it, sometimes I'm more critical about it, is like some of them that they seem like kind of similar to each other. And it's like sometimes that's like a comfort thing, like, oh yes, this is like this show and I love this show, so I'm gonna love this show. And sometimes it's like, I've already seen that.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, why would I want to keep watching this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I've run into as well is that like I don't like it when they feel like they've got you and you're just going to keep watching. I want them to dance a little bit.
Yeah.
And so like with a pilot, like you're going to set up your premise and you're going to quantum leap or whatever it is you're going to do. And then it's like, there's a promise of like plenty of action in store. And some anime are just like, here's the first chapter and it ends, that episode ends and nothing's really going on. And you're like, why would I keep watching this? It's just going to be. Yeah, the guy's just going to wander around some more, and eventually something's going to happen. Which is weird because I like long, slow movies like The Eternals and Dune, theoretically.
Well, I mean, like, also, I think part of it is like you have to care about the characters, right?
Yeah.
Because like, if you don't care about the characters, then why would you come back?
Yeah.
To see what's going to happen to them.
Yeah. Let's talk about characters with Gooey. Gooey, I saw on the Patreon for Virtual Theater, you guys are watching the Captain N series.
Yes. Yeah, we just started doing that. We just posted this. Have you watched that?
I watched it. Yeah, when I was young, I used to watch that.
Well, I remember back, it's giving me a lot of vibes. We had you on Pro Wrestling Required Viewing and did the Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. It's got the same sort of, I mean, it feels like most shows I've watched from that era where it's just like an extended commercial.
Yeah.
It's really cheap. The last episode we covered, there were parts where it just wasn't finished. Like there was animation of like the characters, but the backgrounds were just like tan, like they just didn't finish the background.
Sure.
It's really bad. It's really bad. Yeah.
At least with the Rock and Wrestling, like wrestling is literally designed that here's a character and you can understand him immediately, and he's got like 2 or 3 things. So the junkyard dog, he thumps people with his butt, and he's got a towel that he wears or whatever, and that, and so you can turn that into a cartoon. But like, it's almost like they were looking to piss off like all the people who would watch their cartoon, because it's like they've got like the Mother Brain and they've got Simon Belmont and all these characters like don't really resemble what you think of as the characters. And I know it's just some poor writer who has to find a way to make all these characters like fit together. But I remember when we were young, we'd watch it and be like, that's not, Simon Belmont would never do that. Like, why is this guy an idiot?
It doesn't even seem like it seems like they looked at like the front of the box of some of the games, not even the back, like
flip
just
through the
front.
Instruction booklet and they're like, I think I got it. Yeah.
So I sort of feel bad for the writer or whoever, but like it also feels like there's no even like close approximation for some of the characters,
You guys should do the Super Mario Brothers show.
I want to eventually.
Yeah.
It's
with Captain Lou.
We actually had some of that because we did the Zelda cartoon, which aired as part of that show, and for some reason on the DVD random episodes would include the Mario live action portions, even though they were irrelevant to the Zelda cartoon, but it was only random ones. Like, I don't know what's up with these releases. I think I don't know. Come on, Shout Factory.
Yeah, Shout Factory.
Include them all or don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another one where it's like, Link doesn't act like this, and he's such an asshole, and like, what's wrong with the princess? And
we kind of grew to love that one because all the characters were like pretty awful and like assholes or stupid in some way. The problem with Captain N is I'm starting to realize only 2 episodes in is you have this main character who's supposed to be like the insert protagonist character for all the little boys watching. Yeah. And he's just so bland, I actually would love the show if you took him out and you just had like we call him Shitty Mega Man, which is their version of Mega Man and Kid Icarus and Simon Belmont, like, because they're all these like wacky, stupid, like funny characters, but then like the main guy is just so bland.
I think that could really work now if they wanted to do that again. I mean, Nintendo is so jealous of their guarding their property, although they will cast Chris Pratt as Mario because he's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
But the kind of memeing of the characters, I think people would be okay with that. They wouldn't have to be, what we would think of as like a heroic Link or whatever. You could have like a jerk ass Link, or something like that.
I did keep pitching like they should redo the cartoon, keep the same like animation and stuff, but like make it like It's Always Sunny or something.
Yeah,
because there is an episode I remember where the king builds a water park and he gets in trouble because he doesn't realize it, but he's siphoning the water of the water park from a fairy fountain.
This is the
And it
Emperor's
pisses
New
off-
Groove. This is the plot for an Emperor's New Groove.
Okay.
What happens to the king? Does he get turned into an animal?
No, I think he gets like kidnapped by the fairies and they have to go
This
to
is-
fairyland.
This is it. This is the Emperor's New Groove.
I thought it sounded
Disney.
like It's Always Sunny.
We got you. We got you, Disney. That's funny.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, My Little Pony is about cute ponies, but then they took it and they made it this whole entire other thing with like these individual characters, and it's, you know, spun off on its own thing. So if they ever get over like not wanting to make movies out of their stuff, they should do that, I think.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't ever go to like make fun of their characters that much.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't ever portray. Well, they definitely wouldn't portray Link like as horny as he is in the cartoon.
Yes,
but
he's weirdly horny. Yeah.
they
Here's
wouldn't
what we
even
know about Link. Doesn't talk, totally chaste. And then this guy's like a loudmouth horn dog. Yeah.
Yeah. The first line of the cartoon, he cat calls Zelda. It's pretty bad.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, I
wonder
can't even
what's
repeat
wrong.
what he says. It would not fly.
Oh my
Today.
God.
Let's move on and talk about, we talked about what we're thankful for, i.e. Thanksgiving. Let's talk about Christmas. And let's talk about the gift that we feel that we received from Star Trek this year. You know, Ella mentioned before that there's just so many shows now. There's so many ways to interface with Trek. But beyond that, is there something that you feel like you've been sort of gifted from Star Trek this year? Did I say what I was thankful for?
No.
No.
Yeah, I think you did.
All right, I'll back that up real fast. I'm thankful that we might get a movie soon.
Oh.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of talk about it, but this guy who is now like the TV guy, you know, he was at Nickelodeon. It's one of the reasons we have Star Trek Prodigy is because of this guy. He is now like in the camp. He's working with Alex Kurtzman. J.J. Abrams is still kind of floating around, although he does other stuff. And so there are like
Trying to
2 or 3
recover the
projects.
Cloverfield franchise.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, Star Trek Cloverfield, let's do it. But like there are 2 or 3 projects that are all kind of, you know, in the developmental stages. There was one lady who was like the head of programming who killed the Noah Hawley movie, but she's gone now. So people think that, you know, maybe they're willing to take a chance on something. You know, there is stuff in development, but I can't imagine, like, think about it, like all the franchises, all the movies, everything that's happening right now, and we don't have any Star Trek movies. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But I think that they're really looking to change that now. And one of the things they're focusing on is possibly having an animated Prodigy film. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how it would work with the show. But, you know, they're clearly using something like Clone Wars or Rebels as a model, and the next place you'd go is do a movie. So I'm really looking forward to that if it happens.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm going to pick on Mika. Mika, what's the gift that you received?
Well, I received a gift that I gave to myself, and
My awesomeness.
that is the gift of finally purchasing Andrew Robinson's ebook, A Stitch in Time,
Oh.
which is the book that he wrote as Garrick, and I'm reading it now. And it's fantastic so far. I'm really enjoying it. I just hear his voice in my head as Garrick. Dear Doctor. And it's fantastic. And I'm just so thankful that it exists and it's in this world. And I'm like, why haven't I read this sooner?
Mm-hmm. When are they going to pull the trigger on getting Garrick back in the franchise? Right?
That'd be any day, right?
Do it, cowards.
Picard season 3, right?
Yes.
I don't know how it
Stumble
works.
across him.
Because, like, technically, like, Patrick Stewart is playing younger than he is, right? I can't remember what year Picard takes place. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You put makeup on him and he has youthful energy. He can play him at any time. Or he's stuck in a transporter accident or something and he shows up at Discovery. I don't know. Like, bring the guy back. Like, he's a big part of Trek fandom. He's a vocal voice. He's a great actor. He's still out there. You know, bring him back. That's what I say.
I think that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You all must agree. Gooey. What about you? Any gifts from Trek this year?
It's kind of ongoing, I guess, from last year, but I've just been kind of rewatching large chunks of it.
Yeah.
Both the show and the movies with my friends. Been having like movie nights, and then been rewatching the shows with my girlfriend, and so it's been kind of a solid go-to thing, especially coming out of last year when there really wasn't much else to do. It was nice to kind of have and still have just like, hey, want to do that thing we do, which is just watch like 2 episodes of Star Trek most nights. So just kind of being like a old reliable, an old standby. And it's been good to kind of because I watched a lot of it a long time ago, and then started doing like the podcasts and stuff. And sometimes when we're talking about stuff, I'm like, yeah, I like kind of remember that. And it's kind of good to like recontextualize everything,
Yeah.
And it's just been cool to like see how my opinions on certain things totally change, over time.
Yeah, it wasn't just over the pandemic, it's the last couple of years, but I've been, going through a rewatch of the entire franchise. And now that I've finished it, like when I sit down, at night to watch TV, it's like, oh, wait, what do I do? Like I always had something telling me, here's the next one. So one solution is start over again, but I'm not sure that I want to take that on just yet. But I know people who that is their basic thing that they do. Like they love Voyager, they blast through Voyager, maybe take a break, back to Caretaker, and they just go all the way through.
It's
again.
long enough that you can do that.
Yeah. I got to rewatch the X-Files again.
Oh yeah.
But then allow myself to wander away as it starts to get bad, instead of just doing what I did the first time, which is just gotta keep. I will finish this. Yeah.
Still haven't finished all of the newer ones.
Oh no, I haven't watched the new ones.
A gift to myself has been kind of like don't overload myself with stuff I don't like.
Okay, sure.
Fair.
Because we gripe on our show. We always get into like a Discovery complaining session.
Don't mischaracterize us. That's not totally true.
That's not like what our
we do
show
complain
is.
About Discovery a lot, though.
Every 4 episodes or so, we have a 10-minute portion where we lose our minds a little bit.
That's accurate.
And we have to come to. And so it's been good to like just be like, oh, I'll just watch this stuff I like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the stuff I like exists,
Discovery has it tough though, because our show encompasses the entire Trek franchise.
Yeah.
And so it has to go up against The Inner Light and the best episodes of DS9. And so they do okay. Ella, what about you? Any gifts under the tree from Trek to Ella?
I think I have to say Strange New Worlds, because when Disco came out, I was like, Spock's secret adopted sister? Did they write this show for me? And then honorable mention for Lower Decks, because I love Lower Decks. And then now I'm like so excited.
Yeah.
Which I guess ties back into being grateful for so much new Trek, but specifically, Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, that show has been a long time coming, and people I think are really slavering to get it, and me too. I can't wait to see it. We've been watching all of these new Trek shows for years now on Discoverage, and of course Discovery's moving into a 4th season. Picard's got a new season, and we'll have another season. How long do you think these shows should go? Because in the past, traditionally Star Trek shows get 7 seasons, unless they're failures, and they only get 4. and I don't, there's a totally new management, so I'm sure they're not thinking in their minds 7 seasons for sure. But how long do you think that they can or should go?
Well, it's hard because on the one hand, I think American TV has always had that problem of TV shows
things going on too long,
far past when it needed to.
She lived in Britain for a while, so she knows what she's talking about.
I know, honey, I know it all. And so So on one hand, I'm like, oh, it's good, you know, when the horse breaks its leg, you gotta shoot it, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm greedy and I want as much as I can get, but maybe I won't need to be greedy because we have so many new shows. So I don't know. I would love to see, you know, 7 seasons of Disco. I would be surprised to get 7 seasons of Strange New Worlds. And I think the same with Prodigy, but we don't know where they're going.
It'd be fascinating if they did have a British approach to it and like somehow did like Red Dwarf, like they'll just do like a season of Discovery and then years will go by and they get everybody back together and like find another way to like get into it. Like I'd be interested to see. Of course, we don't make TV that way, and so everything has to be on all the time and has to just keep producing. But
it also is like that's maybe one fix. So sometimes I'm like, oh, they're doing too much, and I'm concerned about like how many writers' rooms there are, and like whether all these shows are going to be just as good as the last one was. And that would be kind of a good fix, you know, to do like a tight 2 seasons, and you know, condense all of it into those tight 2 seasons. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling that Prodigy is going to go for a long time, to be totally honest. I mean, if they've just greenlit a second season, they've got 20 episodes in this one. Like, unless something goes really wrong, like I can see that going for a long, long time. But but maybe
definitely.
Picard, just from the reality of, you know, your staffing, like it's only going to go for a certain amount of time. Who knows? Gooey, are you going to watch the Resident Evil movie and talk about it on your show?
I think it goes along with what I was just saying about like not forcing stuff for like not excited about, you know, like,
I wish I had that luxury.
We're like, we've been less too lately about like, this is topical, we got to cover it. You know, we've been a lot more like, we'll just do whatever. We are going to do it eventually, but we're sort of talking like, we're kind of on a journey with the original Resident Evil series. We just watched the 4th movie.
Sure.
And I know it's standalone and everything, but we were thinking like, we're going to kind of speed up the process and try to finish that first, you know?
Uh-huh.
But we've always been kind of like a little behind on everything. Like we covered Castlevania, but we always did it like the last season, like right before the new season came out.
Okay.
So we didn't have good, like, you know, like, let's get it, strike while the iron's hot. We're always like a little behind, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do it. I'm not like excited about it. Like it doesn't look great to me.
I question how good it is too. And you know, I mean, it's not like the other Resident Evil movies are good, but Paul Thomas Anderson, not wrong one, Paul W.S. Anderson is such like a filmmaker. His sensibility is so schlock. And then you've got the Resident Evil games, which are sort of like schlocky games based on schlocky zombie movies. It's just like, it's almost perfect. And like for them to, what I've seen of the new film, it seems to have like a kind of like B-movie shocky feel to it. But I wonder if they can really hit that target as far as, you know, you're the master of unlocking or whatever the aesthetic is of the films.
I almost feel like it's sort of a game of like telephone or like making a copy of a copy, where it's like the games are kind of like they're a take on like, you know, these schlocky movies you mentioned, but because of their inherent nature of the time period and them being a video game from that time, like they become their own thing and they go off into this whole new universe, you know. And then I think Paul W.S. Anderson then does that, translating it back to screen. Whereas I feel like, I think what people want in their minds is a Resident Evil movie that resembles the movies that inspire Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But I feel like the W.S. Anderson movies are like way more fun and interesting because it's like, what if it was also The Matrix, you know?
Yeah. What if we just absorbed every trick that B movies and action movies have used over the last decade and tried to cram them in there? But that's a good point about how like you have to satisfy, is it a schlocky B movie? Is it a video game at the same time? And, you know, when you try to please everybody, you know, some people are not going to be pleased. So I don't know. I'll watch it. Mika.
Yes.
There you are.
Here I am.
I was going to ask you about anime because, you know,
Yes.
Netflix loves anime.
They sure do.
They love remaking anime. They love doing live action anime. They just announced the casting for the One Piece series live action. What do you think about all this? Yeah, oh, you didn't know.
No.
What do you think about Netflix's obsession with anime?
I mean, I think they're just them trying to get you to watch Netflix. I'm okay with their obsession with anime, but they're like, what's hot right now? You know,
Yeah.
I guess what I don't get is their obsession with trying to make live action versions of the anime.
They're not going to stop. I told you.
But
like,
they're not good most of the time.
I was haranguing you.
Saying.
I was haranguing you on Sailor Noob the other day about the live action shows they're doing, and I think I said something about One Piece, and I said that was a gateway to a live action Sailor Moon, and here we are. There is a live action One Piece, so you know what comes next.
From your mouth to God's ears, that means it's going to happen.
Is it God or is it
or Netflix?
Yeah.
You just like
Same
you
difference.
just say it, and it's in the universe. It's going to happen now.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I can't wait to see Sailor Mars as a devout Catholic priest.
Ariana Grande is Sailor Mars.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, Lord,
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
no,
Chris Pratt is voicing Sailor Moon. He's so cool.
Why would you guys let things like that come out of your mouth?
Yeah, we got to erase all of this. We're going to blank all this out.
Wipe the hard drive. We gotta go.
Is it a thing where it's just like, because I feel like this happens with them right now with video game stuff too, where it's just like, slap that name on it and we know the fans will watch it regardless. You know?
Sure.
They
and
have
the funny thing is that they do original stuff, or at least they, I don't know if they pay for it, but they, platform original series, creative things. There's a lot of British cop shows and stuff like that, but it isn't just like Cowboy Bebop, Gundam. They are doing a live action Gundam.
oh my goodness.
It isn't. Yeah, they are. It isn't just that, but it's a lot of that, And then the things that they have that are their big successes, like Stranger Things, is just basically a pastiche of nerdy stuff, So
Hey kids, remember the 80s?
No, they don't. But we can sell it back to them, though.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
We just on virtual theater, we just stopped even covering again, along with what I was saying, covering the news of video game series they would announce and stuff, because it's coming. So it used to be exciting, oh, they're gonna make a Warcraft movie, they're gonna make a Need for Speed movie or something. Now
David
it's
Bowie's kid is doing a Warcraft movie. This is amazing.
Right.
Yeah, not
now
so
it's
much.
just every day you open and it's there's an Assassin's Creed movie and there's gonna be Skylanders universe, and I'm like, okay, I don't care, I can't keep up.
Cast a Metroid movie.
The Brie
You only need one
Larson.
person. You really only need one person.
That's the talk is Brie Larson.
Really?
I think she has pitched herself for it too.
I'm gonna.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna cut my wrists. But you guys continue to go on with the show, okay?
Wow.
I mean, it would essentially be an animated film, right? It'd be like Roger Rabbit, because you just have one human character who's probably going to be in a CG, Spider-Man suit, and then all the other bosses and aliens would just be voiced by. You could get Idris Elba or whoever to
Seth
do.
Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is Kraid.
Kraid keeps laughing like a stoner. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Well, let's get competitive here. I thought that we could do a couple rounds of Star Trek Trivial Pursuit, mostly because I'm trying to justify the purchase of my Star Trek Trivial Pursuit card set that comes in Galileo shuttlecraft. Although we all know that
cool
that the Galileo shuttlecraft crashed on that planet, and then Spock had to get off the planet.
So,
but
let's see you throw it.
I have to
Not gonna happen.
use these. I have to use these so I can write it off on my taxes. So let's do this. And we're only playing for bragging rights. We're only playing for to have fun. But I thought we'd maybe set a timer and just go for a little while.
Oh,
and
wow.
to be fair, Mika has some of these cards too. So Mika
I
will
do.
read a question for me. Not that it matters necessarily, but I will just say fast that there are 6 categories like there usually are in Trivia Pursuit. And he gets the glasses out. The categories, top to bottom, are crew members, locations, Starfleet, I guess in general, aliens, science and technology, and ships. So if you think that you are, better suited for one of these categories, which I can repeat if you want me to, ask for those questions, I guess. But let's start with Gooey.
Okay. I gotta pick a category.
Which category would you like?
I'll do crew members. Anything but ships. When I hear ships, it's like, oh no.
I know. That's like my eyes just glazed over.
They start talking about
like,
classes.
Nope.
And...
Oh man, I would go immediately for that. Crew members. All right, Gooey. The role of Savick in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan was the first big role for which future bar manager and fat actress? That's a title, fat actress.
Oh, okay.
She was on a show called Fat Actress.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what?
I thought that was like a weird.
No, I wasn't. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I'm not trying to
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley is correct. Gooey goes on the board.
Easy one.
Yeah, see? You guys were all worried. This is going to be easy. Mika, how about you? Got a category?
Oh gosh. Aliens? We'll just try to mix it up a little bit. I don't know.
Aliens. Yeah.
I'm not going for ships. I'm going to tell you that much.
All right, aliens it is. Mika, here's your question. Who helped Spock through his accelerated aging and Pon farr? I should have shuffled these.
Wait, what? Like, what, alien?
Yes, yes. But also, I suppose, a crew member, too, depending on how you look at it. I'll read it once again. Who helped Spock through his accelerated aging and Pon farr?
Gosh, I cannot remember. I would say the doctor, but I don't think that's it. So
not the doctor.
No.
No.
Gooey
raised his hand. Oh, I didn't know he could do that.
He's gonna steal it. Professional.
Can I do that?
Gooey, steal it.
That would be Savick.
That's right, Lieutenant Savick.
Right. Okay.
We got a twofer on Savick there.
Yeah.
Ella, which Savick question would you like? From what category?
But can I hear the categories again?
Yeah, sure. There's crew members, aliens, locations, Starfleet, science and technology, or ships.
Let's try Starfleet. And then
Starfleet?
after the question is when people can go on Twitter and start calling me a fake fan. It's all been a ruse.
We're all fake fans today. Here's your question. What was to be the fate of the Enterprise after the Genesis mission? Boy, these are all in sequence, aren't they? After Genesis, what was to happen to Enterprise?
Scrap her for parts.
Can you be more specific? What happens when you're going to scrap a ship for parts? What do you do?
They were going to destroy it, get rid of it.
I'm going to give it to you. It's going to be decommissioned.
I was like, she's done. She's done for.
No, we'll accept that answer for sure. She definitely wasn't going to be cruising around the space lanes with Captain Kirk.
She might have some good light bulbs still in there,
Yeah,
some
right.
nice
Yeah, they got to take all the
shower faucets. You have to get all that stuff out.
All the fixtures,
waste.
The copper tubing.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a private collector that wants to buy all this stuff. So.
And it's me in the future.
Mika, give me a location question.
That's the second one down.
That's
guessing.
a little planet. Yeah.
Yeah. Where did the second stage of the Genesis project take place? Wow. I guess I should have shuffled these too.
Yeah, these are all. That's weird. I wonder if did they just go from
Trivial Pursuit?
Well, it's all Roddenberry, Berman, Trek, and then it's like all 10 TOS and TNG movies. But inside the regular one asteroid.
I will give it to you. Underground.
Oh, it was going to be underground. Wow. Yeah, sorry. Okay,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So,
suppose they went nowhere.
Okay, I'm shuffling my cards.
Yeah, get a good shuffle.
I'm gonna shuffle mine too. We're back up top to Gooey. Gooey, what category would you like?
You know what? Give me ships. I'm gonna do ships. It. I'm starting to feel confident now.
He's got it. He's got the confidence.
A big moment.
Gosh, it's not good when the asker doesn't know.
Oh, geez.
All right, Gooey.
No.
What happened to the Klingon ship's dilithium crystals? And I think, I should specify. Okay, sorry. These are like themed questions. So these are questions from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. So the appropriated bird of prey, something happened to its dilithium crystals. What was it specifically?
Oh, like when they went
He's close. He knows what it is.
They had to go to the submarines. I don't know.
The vessels, but yeah. What happened to the crystals?
They got out of phase. I don't know.
I guess I'm going to give that one to you. Yeah, they began they began to decrystallize because they were drained by time travel.
I'll take half a point. I don't think I deserve it.
Okay, we'll give him half a point.
I'll take the half. Thank you.
You can't.
Thank you very much.
You can't fly by a bunch of. Remember when all the big heads came up and it's Spock. It's these computer graphics. You know that totally decrystallizes your crystals, so you can't handle that. Mika, what category would you like?
Oh boy,
got to get on the board.
Yeah. Let's go with people. That's probably my best bet.
Yeah, shuffle the hell out of your cards because this is going to be this is a motion picture question.
Ooh.
Okay.
So people.
Yeah.
People? Like this is a regular Trivial Pursuit.
Characters.
Like Starfleet or crew members?
Sports.
Crew members.
Okay. Sports, yeah. Give me the pink one. What was
Sports ball.
Shut up. What was the name of the Deltan navigator who joined the Enterprise for the V'ger mission?
Oh, come on. I don't remember.
Bald head, no pants.
That well. For the
Right.
The V'ger mission. Yeah, it's a lady, right?
It is a lady.
That much I got.
She's a Deltan.
I don't really remember her name. It's something weird.
It starts with an I. I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah.
Anyone else want to try and jump in?
It's like
no takers.
No, it's killing me that I don't know.
I would have said bald head, no pants for her name.
But yeah, that's
celibate,
and I would have accepted that.
Short romper.
That is her name.
She's celibate. Yes, it's Ilya.
Oh my goodness!
Played by Persis Kambata. Yes.
Okay. These are kind of tough.
Well, they're getting tough. Ella, what about you? What category would you like? And I won't tell you what show it's from. You have to pick category, then you find out what show.
All right, give me crew members. Crew members for 500.
Crew members for 500. This is from the original series TV show. Lieutenant Uhura was the head of what department?
Communications.
That is correct.
Yay! I was thinking like telecommunications.
I was like, this is a trick. It's a trick.
Speaking of communications, is your degrees in communications, right? Or media studies?
Sure is. Studies in cinema and media culture.
Okay. So that's so fun. Oh, the cinema. Okay,
a professional.
You got that.
Exactly. Excuse me.
That for you, yeah.
I am not a film student.
I was
cinema.
I was thinking the other day that we used to laugh at communications majors because they learn nothing. But with the internet now, that's a huge field. So that Simpsons joke doesn't work anymore. You can make a lot of money in
Do you want
communications.
to know something? They still laugh. But
They still do? Okay.
But
right.
no,
I don't feel too bad about it then.
Working for my university. So
Yes,
what are they going to
exactly.
say now?
All right, Mika, give me a ships. I feel confident too.
Ships. Okay. How long did the refit of the Enterprise take?
Oh, what? Yeah. And this is from the motion picture or when?
Yeah, it's from the motion picture. Now, how many? I'm not going to ask you how many looks that. Was it?
How long did they look at it and then look at each
Yeah.
other and go?
And then look at each other and like look at
Not
the
long
ship.
One of the greatest scenes in
Yeah.
film history.
But how many? It's so how long did it take? How many?
This is from the
months?
boring part of the movie where they're all like cruising around on the monorails and like
no,
brown
that part
pants and
rocks.
stuff.
The tearjerker.
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
It was 18 months.
All right, 3 times as long. All right.
Yeah. Well.
All right, I didn't get that one. Gooey, what about you? Category?
Okay, not ships and not crewmen. I guess aliens.
Aliens? Okay.
I want to do something different. Yeah.
This is from the original series TV show. Where is the Vulcan heart located?
I don't know. Honestly, I
take a
can't
guess.
even. Oh, a guess. I don't know, the stomach.
I'm going to say no on this one because
No,
it specifically calls out it's approximately where the human liver is.
Oh, okay.
Bones says that at some point during the show.
Okay.
I
That
guess
seems
the
like
bonus points would be like what episode was that, right?
I have no
I
idea.
The cards don't say.
Oh,
One of the
wow.
times that Spock got in trouble or got hurt.
That's apparently not that interesting of a factor. Else that'd be something I feel like they'd bring up a lot. Like the green
Right.
blood they bring up a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yes. True.
Maybe that
Right.
was like DC Fontana went one too far. She's like, and their hearts are livers. People are like, no, we don't like that one so much.
That's the only thing that's different.
Happy
Right.
Valentine's, and it's in the shape of like a liver. Yeah. Mika, pick a category, if you would.
Was it Starfleet is one of them or Federation? Which one
Starfleet
it?
is, yeah, that's one of them.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'll take that one.
This is from the original series TV show. What
Okay.
first season episode introduced the Starfleet dress uniforms?
Oh gosh.
You've seen this episode.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
Just recently watched the original series, but well, it's gonna be one of the ones where they're entertaining like aliens on the ship. I'm so
What
bad
if I
with
was like,
episode names.
No.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I'm so bad with names of episodes.
Think of, here's a hint, Samuel T. Cogley. He doesn't believe in
Great hint.
he doesn't believe in computers.
Fantastic.
He likes that book learning.
Oh, is that
He doesn't like him. I don't know.
Guy from the Maltese Falcon's gonna be your lawyer.
it's the lawyer where they're
Oh,
3,
I don't know.
2, 1. It's court martial.
Oh, okay.
And then if
Those
James
are
Cameron
good
directed
hints.
the sequel, it would be courts martial. But he didn't do that though.
And us.
Yes, that's the first time that we see them in their all dressed up in their dress uniforms.
Okay.
Ella, how about you? Oh, the score currently is Gooey has 1.5. Ella's actually in the lead with 2, so you could cinch your lead here with this question. What category would you like?
Let's try aliens.
Aliens. Okay, your question for aliens comes from Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Who was the Klingon ambassador to Nimbus 3?
J.G. Hertzler.
That is not correct. Although he's an actor, not a character. Do you have a guess for who the character was? He goes, "Brr." He's always drinking all the time. He's like, "Brr."
Did we meet him before Star Trek V?
No.
Then no, got nothing.
It's General Cord.
Oh, I'm a
And
Star
that
Trek
actor would
4
go-
purist,
yeah.
so
yeah,
I only watch Star. Every day I wake
everything
up
after
and I
the
watch Star
whales
Trek 4.
didn't happen.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
That actor went on to play Chancellor Kempek in the episodes Birthright and then the other one.
And then the other one.
Which Gooey and I learned on BackTrekking when we covered that episode. All right, Mika, this is it. Last question. I have a chance to tie Ella.
Okay. What would you like for your category?
Science and technology.
Okay, I think that's the phaser, I believe. So this is from The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2.
Wow.
What was the proposed use of the Genesis device?
I mean, like terraforming?
Can you...
Terraforming dead planets?
I'll take that. Terraforming planets.
Okay. There's pre-animate matter in the Matrix. What do I want me to say? I'll just start at the beginning of the movie. Start from the Kobayashi Maru, and then I'll just say the whole thing to the end.
Little graphic where they explain what it does.
Yes, which was one of the first cinematic things done by ILM, right? When they had their Pixar division.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, they made that basic for the movie, but they also made it as like, hey, movie people, look what we can do. We can make you ghosts for Ghostbusters. We can do all kinds of stuff. It was like a tech
Check it
demo.
out.
Yeah. Well, nobody really won, and that's really the best way. That's the Federation way. We're all equal. We're all the same. Every single Federation member has a participation trophy right on their shelf. So that's the way we want.
Is it John Wesley Ship?
Yeah. John Wesley Ship is definitely there, and you can win $100,000.
Yes.
And that's in 1992 money, so that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Well, I want to thank everybody for having a holiday party with me, and I always enjoy talking with each one of you about Star Trek, and even not Star Trek when we do that. And I hope that you have a great rest of the year and a great holiday season and a great 2022, which is so weird. It sounds like the future, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like when I was a young person in school, they were telling us all the things that we'd be doing in, 2015 and 2020, and we're kind of doing them, I guess. I got a computer in my pocket.
Yeah, a calculator.
We're not on Mars, though. That's not working out.
No flying cars, but
That's good, though.
Yeah, I feel like flying cars just from the jump is like, that's not a good idea. Let the listeners know where they can find you guys online and what you've got coming up in the future. Gooey, where can people find you online?
You can find me. I'm on Twitter at Gooey Fame, and we're about to record BackTrekking episode, and we're going to be talking about the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes.
For this season.
Yes.
I guess that'll probably be out by the time this comes out, though. So
yes, and we're pairing that with the DS9 episode, The Ascent. Yes.
Oh, it's a perfect pairing.
It's a perfect pairing, and we kind of broke our own rules because Ira Stephen Bear literally came out and said that The Ascent is based on Waiting for Godot, but we're not going to go. Nobody's producing Waiting for Godot, the play in where we both live. But this is a similar story where two characters hate each other, and it literally came out on Thanksgiving in 1996 or whenever it came out. So it is a Thanksgiving story as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, it's a perfect. Yeah, we did it better actually than he did.
Yeah,
we know better than them.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Is that the episode where Quark and Odo are stranded on a planet together?
Yes.
Excellent.
That is the one.
Awesome.
Mika, where can people find you online, and what have you got going on?
Yeah, you can find me at Mikanhana on Twitter and justenougghtrope.com. We just started talking about Sailor Moon S on Sailor Noob, which for those in the know, that's the third season. And
the Terminator season.
Yes, there's lots of
weirdly there are a bunch of Terminator 2 references in it.
Yeah, so. At least like it seems like that there are, like it's plausibly deniable to T2. You don't think it's deniable?
That's your position.
Yeah, so we're doing that. We're talking about the live action Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon on our Patreon right now, which is a lot of fun. And we just talked about Eternals on Just Enough Trope. So
yeah. and took about as long as Eternals did to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a long show.
It was a very long show, partially because we also decided to start doing our other Patreon feature where we let our Patreons decide what movie we were going to talk about, and we talked about Zardoz.
And our patrons are geniuses because Eternals and Zardoz, a lot closer than you'd think. A lot closer than you'd think.
Wow.
And that's a tease for Just Enough Trope. Ella, how about you? Where can people find you online?
My personals are at Gondor Gold everywhere. My home podcast is called Generations Geek, so you can look us up for pretty much any kind of podcast subject you're craving a listen for. And I'm doing some work with Star Trek Unlimited, so everyone should follow, especially their TikTok, because I'm going to endeavor to post a lot more Star Trek TikToks coming up pretty soon here, so that's going to be fun.
Awesome. Have you guys talked about Doctor Who on Generations Geek?
I'm sure. And I'm sure that I'm sure that it's far enough back that I sound like a 13-year-old boy. So that'll be really exciting for everyone. Yeah, it's a real treat, a real treasure. My adolescence is just captured in
growing up on the radio.
That's part of the charm.
Yeah. Well, check all of those things out, and that's it from us at Enterprising Individuals. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we'll see you all again in 2022. Bye.
Hello, I'm Mikanhana.
And I'm Caliban.
I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. I've been a Moonie since the beginning. I've seen every episode, every movie. I've read all the manga. I love it.
I've got a head full of bad wiring, and I've never seen a single episode.
Do you want to join the wonderful world of Sailor Moon?
Okay. Enter laughing. It's hard to believe that was us. It feels like ancient history.
We recorded that a few minutes ago.
Ancient history, but now that I'm a Sailor Moon expert.
You're not an expert?
But I'm trying.
Every week on Sailor Noob, we talk about a new episode of the original Sailor Moon series.
It's all new to me.
And I'm a little more seasoned. I've been a Japanese language student and I've lived in Japan.
And you use your experiences to talk about the food, fashion, and culture of every episode of Sailor Moon.
What do you do again?
Share in the wonder of a classic anime series.
Good enough. Sailor Noob is a great companion for first-time watchers, and it is a fun hit of nostalgia for the experienced fan.
You can catch the show every Friday wherever you get your podcasts.
And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, posting all things Sailor Moon.
One day I shall be the master.
Let's just get through this series first.
Okay.